Hello guys, and welcome to yet another session here at the Gosu Academy. I'm going to lag, and now we're back. I don't know why my computer started doing this, but whenever I tap in and out of the game, it gives me a freeze lag for a couple of seconds. Something I definitely sorely need to fix. I was a little bit out of ideas for this kind of session. Actually, let me even do this so that between people watching and my own voice is better. Sorry, a bit of lag again. I was a little bit unsure about what would be a great topic for today's session, and I asked the lovely Academy, as I do from time to time, what would be a topic you would like for me to cover. Someone brought up a topic that we haven't talked about yet, and it's very important in Counter-Strike, but isn't really talked about enough. It's overlooked by a majority of players, and having a good understanding of what we're talking about today, which is retakes and post-plants, is something that is extremely important. If you would like to hear your questions get answered, you yourself can join the Academy. There's a link in the description of this video where you can sign up for 1 month free trial, which means if it's sort of a full month where none of my Thursdays get blocked by obviously starting coaching NIP's female team, well, then you can enjoy me 4 times and sometimes 5, I guess. On top of that, there are other coaches doing sessions here at the Gosu Academy as well, and they are also definitely worth having a listen to. So, yeah, going into retakes post plans, I've started on Mirage, and the reason I've done this is because I want to start talking about a sort of retake principle, which no one talks about, but is actually really, really strong. No one has made a video about it, as far as I know, except me, and I made it specifically on Mirage, with the thought that if the video would perform well, I would make more episodes. The video didn't perform exactly how I wanted it to. That's probably my own fault, but I will be sharing with you one of my top retake tips. Yeah, basically, a lot of maps, not every map, not every bomb site has what I call a god spot. Now, when you retake a CT, there are on certain maps spots where if I am in a 2 versus 1 situation, I basically cannot lose if I am standing in the god spot. And I think this is where I want to kick off the retakes today. I want to talk about the god spots that I know exist on various maps. Here on Mirage, the god spot is stairs. It's not all the way at the top of the stairs, it's hiding stairs, and I'll explain to you why. So there are a couple of bomb plants that are used in pro play. There's default plant, there's reverse default, there is like, I don't even know what you call this, it's just like, I guess, mid plant, there's plant in the gap, and then there's like a Fnatic plant. Oh wait, sorry, this is reverse default of Fnatic. There's also inside Firebox, sorry, that was the one I was missing. And what is interesting about all these bomb plant spots is that if a T is playing the Afterplant, he has to either peek out wider than the stairs angle, or he has to be isolated. This is basically the concept of the video that I made. It's pretty easy. I think it's called like Mirage has an Afterplant god spot or something like this, my video. Anyway, I'll prove it to you. Basically, there are a few areas the T's can play in. In my video, I assumed that we had at least one CT retaking from CT spawn, meaning that we can disregard this whole area. We don't have to have a CT retaking from here, but we will at the very least have to have information that the T's are not in CT. That's kind of important for this. So, of the spots that the T's can play, they can play like Ninja, they can play Shadow, they could play, I guess, potentially behind default, they can play Sandwich, they can play Tetris, they can play Down Ramp, they can play Palace, and they could also be potentially a late mid lurk. What is kind of interesting is that it doesn't really matter which bomb plant I take. Whatever bomb I try to defuse, if the T is in Ninja, or in Shadow, or in Sandwich, or in Tetris, these are angles where if my teammate defuses the bomb and he dies, I now know the T, I know the T's position, and I also know he's isolated. So if he kills from Ninja, well, there's no way for him to get out from Ninja, and so I can take this fight knowing that the T has to be hiding somewhere here. Same goes with Shadow. If Shadow kills my teammate, well, Shadow is isolated, there's no place for this guy to move. Same with Sandwich, same with Tetris. This is pretty straightforward. If I am in stairs and my teammate defuses the bomb or fake defuses the bomb and dies, if the T is in any of these 4 positions, well, if he's Ninja, I can potentially get the trade, or I can isolate him. Same with Shadow, same with Sandwich, same with Tetris. I don't know really what other teams use as a name, but we use the word worm. Worm is a keyword that you can use with your team to explain situations where one CT will full defuse the bomb and the other CT will bait and get the trade. So an example of when worming is really good is this 2 versus 1 situation where if I as a CT full defuse the bomb, well, either the T doesn't peek within the first 5 seconds and I just win the round outright, or if the T decides to peek, well, if he is in any of these isolation positions, he has shown his hand, and now it's up to the player from stairs in the god spot to isolate and win this fight, and now we win the one-on-one. Worming your teammate, as I call it, is a really good way to force the T to give away sort of his information very early on. If the T decides to hide, well, the T loses the round. If the T decides to peek, he gives away his info very early on, right? Which gives more time for this player to play the isolation positions. And especially in the situation where I, for example, have a Molotov, my teammate dies from Ninja. I mean, if I Molotov this, it's rough for this player to win. Talking about the other positions, Slope, Palace, and to some extent the late mid lurk. Well, part of the reason why worming is good, so like having someone full commit to defusing the bomb, is that if the late mid lurk is coming, well, he will be too late for stopping the defuse. But let's take a look at the positions. Let's say the bomb is planted here, and I as a T hear someone press the bomb and I want to peek. For me to peek this angle, I'm already now exposing myself to stairs, and I need to keep peeking out until I get contact on the guy defusing. And when I shoot, I have to fall back, and I will always have to be open to stairs much longer than basically any other position that the CT can play. If I decide to go this way, well, then the stairs guy can peek me, and I'm again in an isolated position. If I try to move this side, well, then stairs will see me for a lot longer than basically any other position. Same goes to slope. If I want to, again, kind of irrelevant which bomb plant, doesn't matter if it's this one, this one, this one, this one, or this one. No matter what, any of these bomb plants, as a T, I will always have to expose myself to stairs first, and then try to kill the defuser. What's interesting again about this is that if I try to take this fight and I kill the defuser, well, for me to fall back, I will always have to be exposed to stairs longer than basically any angle. Or the other option I have is going to Tetris, where now I put myself in an isolation position instead. So this is why I consider Mirage stairs a god spot, because I can bait my teammate, and as soon as I hear the T shooting, if I hear him shooting from Apps, I can step out and I can trade. If I'm shooting from slope, I can step out, I can trade. And the same with the late mid lurk. If the T, even if I'm standing here and the T shoots from mid, well, I can come here and I can either take the straight up fight, or if the T runs left, I can kill him, or if the T runs right, I can kill him. There is not an area where the T can kill and run away in a position where I from stairs won't be able to catch him. This is an example of a god spot. I want to go through a few more god spots with you, because there are god spots on other maps. Some maps have god spots on both sides. I'm not sure if I exactly have like a good example. But I'll at least show you one on overpass that's very clear in my mind, and this is basically what this is like a kind of must-know trick if you want to get good on overpass, I want to say. On overpass, a lot of rounds will end up in like a 2-on-1 situation. I'm not saying like 50% or 30% or something like this, but I'm just saying there will be situations on overpass where you're 2-on-1 retaking the bomb, and you don't know if the T is playing short or sandbags or monster or whatever the T is playing. This is kind of the original worm spot. This is what even got me on this topic. If the T has planted the bomb here, and my CT teammate decides to full defuse the bomb, and I am hiding here behind the pillar, well, if the T is sandbags and kills, now the T is in isolation position, and I can push forward and I can kill him without him being able to fall back. If the T kills from short, well, the T will always be open to pillar for a lot longer than being open to basically any other angle. So if this guy is defusing, it requires this short guy to swing out this wide to kill, and for him to fall back, he either needs to fall back for a very long time, or he needs to go into an isolated position. This is why hiding pillar is really good, because when my teammate gets contact from short, even if the T kills my teammate, it's easy for me to go out and catch him here. Same goes for monster. If the T decides to push from monster and kill my teammate, well, playing behind the pillar is something where I can instantly peek and I can even spam him through the wall, and now I can take a fight where the T, after he shoots, even if he tries to fall back, there is such a long time before he gets into a safe position. That is why playing behind the pillar is also technically a god spot, and it kind of works both ways. Not really as well at all, but imagine that the bomb is planted here mid-side, and we expect the T to be playing towards CT. Well, it's possible for me to, for example, hold heaven and hide myself and try to trade. Another example would also be going default, and if the bomb is planted here and heaven peaks, I can try to trade. Or if he peaks from CT, I can try to trade. Or if he peaks ABC, the T is now in an isolated position. This Afterplant is much more difficult to win as a CT though, and it's also more rare. So just understanding that here at pillar is a god spot is a really, really big deal. Going on to vertical, there's also a very obvious kind of god spot. Well, actually, this is probably one of the least obvious god spots, but there is a god spot, and I think you guys will agree. So, doesn't kind of matter where the bomb is planted. Doesn't matter if the bomb is planted here. This one will be pretty tricky. This is the best bomb plant, right? But anywhere here, here, whatever. If I, as a CT, am sitting here and holding gap for my teammate, well, if my teammate gets shot from gap, I can kill. And if he doesn't get shot from gap, if the T peeks him from ramp, I can jump up and I can instantly attempt the trade. If the bomb is planted here, which is the normal sort of plant spot for the T's, for the T to peek side, he will always have to show himself for longer to headshot than to the bomb side. And this is exactly the reason why this is also what I consider a god spot. Another option is, okay, the T might be at sandbags. Well, if the T peaks now, it's the same kind of concept. The T is in an isolated position, and now I have to play the one-on-one and try to win it, and if I do, I win the round. These are 3 examples of situations where you can use this worming your teammate to force the T to play his hand early, and if he does, you have a pretty damn good chance of winning this round. Why is, besides the god spots, it important to add this keyword for worm? Well, imagine a situation where I am going onto the B bomb side with my teammate, and we are 2 versus 2, whatever. It's just a random example. If we are able to smoke the bomb, and my teammate can go here and press the bomb and full defuse the bomb, I can go into a position where I can hold, and I can trade if they spam the smoke. If I hold white, and I can peek this for my teammate, well, then for the cheese, it's really difficult to insta-kill my teammate since he is inside of a smoke. But I am using this kind of concept of baiting my teammate who is defusing to get the information on the T, so I can outplay him and hopefully save my teammate's life before he gets killed through the smoke. Having a keyword for this makes it so the CTs can very sort of quickly and efficiently understand each other. Let's say I'm coming here, like whatever, we smoke the bomb, and I say, I'm gonna worm you. It's really easy for my CT teammate to know exactly what he needs to be doing in this situation, which is full sticking the bomb, because this will either A, prompt the peek from the T, or outright win us the round. This is one of those things that I think a lot of people don't think about. And this is an example of where retaking becomes really, really important. Now, I know also from the reaction when I accidentally loaded into Inferno here at the beginning, that Inferno is far from the most popular map in Counter-Strike currently, but it is a map with a lot of importance in the history of Counter-Strike, and it is still in the active map pool. So I will explain something that I learned when I joined my first professional team, Sprout. And it's stuck with me ever since. This was 6 years ago, basically, at this point. What my teammate who was playing B, my teammate was Dennis. Oh, I have so much caps lock on here. My teammate Dennis was playing B on Inferno. And when doing review after one of our matches, Dennis mentioned that we need to discuss Afterplants and we need to discuss retakes. Because on Inferno, in particular, a lot of rounds will end up in, let's say, a 3v3 scenario on Inferno. It's really often that Ts will go in, they will kill the CTs, but maybe lose a couple of guys in the process, and it becomes a 3v3 Afterplant, and the round hinges on this, right? And on a map like Inferno, where the bomb gets planted a lot, knowing how to efficiently retake and play Afterplants is really, really important. So we had a Afterplant, which since then I've called Sprout Afterplant. It was actually a pretty simple concept. If you have an AWP player, he goes dark and he holds this, so that if anyone wants to swing CT, they have to fight the AWP here. If this player doesn't have AWP, all you do is you just jiggle peek, so that if you get contact on CT, you can say it, you can hide, and you can wait for your teammate's contact. Then you have one teammate, and I think this angle has been nerfed a little bit, but you can have one teammate on an off angle like this, so that whenever people want to come out ruins, they will peek this, they will peek this, they will peek this, and then when they get to here is typically when they want to swing and check this. It's very... for anyone, I guess, who was here for one of the earlier sessions or I've watched the video, I have this theory called the cone of awareness. And at this moment, when the CT steps out here, is where his cone of awareness is basically maximized. He has to look and be aware of all these angles around him. And so there is not really many good ways the CT can peek. What a lot of CTs will do is they will go and try to kill dark, or they will run out here and just... whatever, be holding triple, or at least rarely is it that they run out hard clearing this and putting their back to some of the most important Afterplant positions on Inferno. That's why the Sprout Afterplant was very smart, in that it was kind of a reverse contact, where this guy, who is normally sitting and holding this, he would instead be holding the run out here, and the guy who is here, instead of being like playing pillar or something like this, or being triple, well, he would be holding first contact on CT, and this allowed for a sort of crossfire, where when the CTs would come out ruins, I think you could even hold like a tighter angle, maybe like this, when this player gets contact, if I don't, from this position, have contact CT, I can swing out and I can help my teammate kill this retaking CT. And the same can be said if I'm standing here and my teammate gets contact on CT, I can turn and I can swing and I can help. And then the last player can just be whatever, triple or banana or wherever. This is an example of a pretty good afterplant. I'll show you one more afterplant. You can have like an off angle like this, where you use this pillar to get late contact on like what's it even called anymore? Like the ruins area. And then you can have someone triple, and you could potentially have the same kind of CT player here. What's smart about this is when this player gets contact, well, the triple player can swing and peek. And when this player gets contact on this, well, this player can swing and peek left side, or if there's a CT smoke, can swing right side and help with this. I think some people also choose to play with one player having this off angle and having someone here. So when this player gets contact, this player has contact kind of at the same time. And yeah, it's just another example of an afterplant. On the A side, there are a couple of afterplant setups that seem easy enough when you've seen them. And they are in fact so heavily used that pro teams have names for these kind of setups, and will actually hard clear them to a point where it gets kind of ridiculous. The CTs will put themselves at such a massive risk because they expect these afterplants. There is one afterplant where all you need is basically two players. You can have this player holding like this. Now I have short and abs. And then you can have your other player hold long like this, basically. So if they come in long, I can kill them on side. I am able to swing and trade or help my teammate in a crossfire. And I am also able to swing and help on this side. And I am pretty hidden from graveyard if they somehow manage to get there. In this position, well, I can hold short, I can hold abs, and if my teammate gets contact on anyone coming in from long, I can give up this angle, I can swing, and I can try to help. I can even jump up in the box and try to help here. And I'm pretty hidden from graveyard. So, what is kind of interesting about this setup is that the long players can't really clear the guy who is holding short, and the short players can't really clear the guy holding long. So it becomes something weird where it's kind of like a... Yeah, I don't know. The guy who is the furthest away from long holds long, and the guy who's the furthest away from short and abs holds abs. But with this setup, all you need is two people. It's really easy to like do basically any round, and they can both swing on contact, which is why it's one of the most popular setups. Another one that is very popular is kind of the opposite, which is a little bit funny, where instead of holding like long first contact, you can hold like this. You basically hold short in an angle where if the CTs want to get in, they can go here and they can't see you pit, but as soon as they start stepping into side, now you will kill them from pit. This, this position is combined with... Yeah, I haven't even played Inferno for so long. I would say it's combined with this position. Yeah, I would say so. So that now I'm kind of full committed to holding long. I can hold it a little bit more of an off angle if I want. But I'm holding contact long now. And it's kind of the same case. I'm sitting here, but if my teammate gets contact long, I can swing. It's a little bit more dangerous. And the same can be said here for my teammate. If I get contact on someone coming inside, he can swing and kill here. These setups are basically the exact opposite. And that's what makes it so hard for the CTs to retake. Because even if you know both of these retake setups, you have to understand which one the Ts are going to fall into. Say they do the first retake. I think... Let me think here. I think we call this one in one of my teams like Bulgarian Afterplant. where you hold this, and this player holds this. Say we're holding this kind of Bulgarian setup, right? Well, what is the short player to do? Well, the short player, when coming into sight, needs to be looking this way to have a chance to fight. And the long players, to have a chance to fight, need to be running in looking this way. But because the other popular Afterplant is the exact reverse, well, it requires that the CTs kind of guess the right setup. Because as I'm entering sight, or as I'm entering this area and long, I need to know which of the two Afterplant setups the Ts are playing. And it's basically impossible for me to get the information on this. Which is why we sometimes see CTs take massive risk, which, to be fair, is really smart. I know from own experiences, I've been sitting on this off angle, and I've had CTs run in and hard clear this, because they hope that this is the setup we decide to choose, and at which point they will have to jump on me because they know my exact position. That is when Afterplants and Retakes become pretty deep. But Inferno is one of the best maps to kind of explain Afterplant setups and explain the importance of this, basically. Moving to another map one more time. I want to talk a bit more about kind of Afterplant setups, or at least important positions. On Vertigo, if you get the bomb down on A, and you have a T-sided AWP player live, they will almost always go to sandbags, exactly because this is an angle where you can hold, for example, just up CT, you can hold out con, where you are not visible to anything else. It's an angle where you can kind of jiggle and be really hard to kill. You're able to trade, but you're also able to hold angles, and the only thing that can really clear you is a Molotov. If the CTs don't have a Molotov for the retake, and you're playing AWP here, it's almost worth for the CTs to just simply save. And the same kind of goes on the opposite bomb side, where this is a super strong Afterplant position. You can hold this, you can hold from here kind of, take first shot, fall back. You can go up here, you can hold this angle. I know some AWP players start by holding this angle. There are so many angles you can take here where you make yourself so hard to kill. You can jiggle in and out of angles. You can take close quarters fights, you can hold. You can go for quick scopes. It's extremely hard for the CTs to clear you. And yeah, now I actually don't even think I know the grenades. Do I? I guess I can show you some retake nades for B side. Let me see if I remember it correctly. I think if you get stuck in here and you aim just right side of this thing, this smoke doesn't look that great because it only blocks off one side. There are a lot of pro teams that play with this smoke, and there's kind of a specific reason for it. It needs to be paired up. I can hardly see my crosshair here. It needs to be paired up with this Molotov. I think you're in bottom of the sandbags. Walk, jump, throw. This Molotov goes over and lands in a way where you are actually not really able to peek wide. I think I threw it a little bit wrong. Maybe it is a run step? I don't think so, though. It looks actually like it's a run step. Or maybe just slow walk a little bit extra. But basically with these two grenades together, you have a situation where the Ts can't peek wide. They can't really peek from here either, because, I mean, this is all burning. And as a CT, if I go grab my M4, with this smoke up, hang on. With this smoke up, it's possible for me to ignore the AWP angle here. The Molotov makes it so I can ignore the AWP angle here. It means I can press the bomb, and I can go up here and play kind of one way above the smoke. This is super strong as well, because anyone playing on stairs, will kind of be forced into this position where they have to spam or they have to gamble that you're not defusing. And that's why this retake combo is really, really sick. I think... See, I'm not an active player anymore. But if you do this combo, I do believe as well you can... Is it on the hat? That seems wrong. I think there used to be an arrow. But there is definitely somewhere where you can flash kind of like this above the AC. You can also go and do, if you jump up here and you aim here, in the kind of like a little bit top middle, I think. This is a flash that goes right behind the AC and pops. One of my favorite retake flashes in the entire game as well is just, I think I've shown it multiple times, but if you bounce it here on the left side, kind of half height, this one goes up and is one of the best retake flashes you can actually go with. A lot of angles are blind on this. And yeah, quad as well if they play any of these angles. It's just a flash that is really annoying, but really good to run with, because you're able to throw it for yourself, run, you clear close, not here, and you can just run. And especially if you have the smoke up and the muller up, you've got a pretty good chance. Some more retake utility that you could potentially be using. I know there's a lineup. I'm not personally that big of a fan of it. I think maybe it's like this. But where you can actually get a smoke that lands and kind of blocks off the bomb. I know I experimented myself with something crazy actually that I kind of forgot. I think it was like this and like... Hang on. Yes. Okay, look at this smoke. No one's ever seen this before. You walk forward until this beam matches up with this, and then you go half height here. This smoke lands on top and lands down in a way where you can actually like fake defuse the bomb, jump up, and play around the smoke on both sides. And it's pretty difficult for the T's to play against, in my opinion. Never before seen smoke, because I found it.
Can you show the lineup for that again?
Yes. You move forward here. You see this beam, and you line it up with this yellow part. You see? Like this, and that, and then half height. And it is consistent. It's pretty nasty, pretty nerdy. If you do this smoke, like imagine pressing the bomb, jumping up. You check this. If he doesn't spam here, you just jump up here. Okay. With better movement, and you play one way on him here as well. It's pretty interesting. I showed it already. You can do, I think you can aim here. You can run throw a Molotov for sandbags. It's like a really easy line, you won't fail. You can also look for this one, and you can even run jump throw. This will take the like back and come back in. You can also sneak jump throw. That's why I like this lineup a little bit more, because even if you don't remember if it's sneak or run, they will both work, and that's pretty consistent. I guess there is this retake smoke as well, where you just aim like kind of here. This will land like this and blow up and remove a lot of area from the T's. That's probably like the main things that you would want to know. We can go through some retake utility on the different maps. I will just show you some. Oh man, I actually just thought about something that I haven't... I experimented with many years ago. It was actually pretty good, but I actually think in Season 2 it might be even better. Potentially, if you want to retake B bomb site, this is not the lineup, right? But it is possible to get a smoke that bounces in like that and full smokes the B house, which makes it so the AWP playing here can't play here any longer. And if you have someone sneaking up close, you can be ready in the smoke and play out on contact from your teammates. Again, I haven't experimented with this for a very long time. It needed to be pretty specific, the lineup in CSGO, but in CS2, because the smokes are bigger, this would be a lot easier. Is it worth using a smoke on? I'm not sure. But at the same time, it is at least the case that smokes in general on the B bomb site for retaking are not that valuable. So maybe you've seen the smoke and now you think, holy smokes, I'm bringing this out in my next facet. It at least would be annoying for the AWP if you land it correct. I'll do it one more time. See if I can do it. If I can do it right. Maybe something like this. Or is that too much to the right? That looks pretty good. So this should probably blow up and block all of the kitchen window. If you find a super good lineup for it as well, I expect potentially, like let's say I know exactly how far to run.
I just found a lineup.
Okay. Yeah, I think, I mean, I kind of have a lineup as well. But I think it's important if you have the ability to find a lineup that lands where the smoke lands all the way close here, so that there might be some one-way angles to play. There will potentially be a lineup. But yeah, it was a thought I had. I don't think it makes that big of a difference. I think someone's microphone is active right now.
Coach.
Is it? Yeah, I think it's good now, right? Okay. Anyway, this is just an idea. I'll show you some retake utility. This Mirage, sorry for the lagging. It's just when I tap in and out of the game. This one, super key. Put your shoulder up against this wall. Aim here. Bang. Molotov that lands on top. It burns the back. It burns potentially the front. Like, no one's gonna play here, but it does. And it burns all of default. This is a Molotov you can throw. It's very fast and consistent. Sometimes you need a little bit of added height on it, but it will push the T out of this position completely, and that's why this Molotov is so good. Same can kind of be used. Like, I guess if you have a nade, it won't be perfect for Ninja, but it would be good for default, so you can try it. Obviously, if you want to just nade Ninja, you can just do almost literally anything. More util. You can, I think, if you aim from the like this and to half height of this. Let me see, because it's a little bit finicky. This is a Molotov for Tetris, and the way you can do it, let me see, because it's a little bit harder in CS2. It's like harder and easier. So you can do a slope smoke like this. You just see like this part of the kind of door frame a little bit up and let go. This is a smoke that goes and takes all of slope. And what you could do then is, obviously, if you have both the nades, you just do the smoke and then you do the Molotov. Now you have pushed this T out in this position. And I think probably you could even find a Molotov lineup that is a little bit better. Now that I'm thinking about it, probably you could get something that will push him into the smoke. It's up to you, kind of. But anyway, what I had as kind of an issue a little bit with this retake set is if you do this smoke and then this Molotov, the smoke lands like kind of fast, but it's I don't know. The smoke it gets heard before the Molotov comes in. I don't know. I just have an alternative for you guys. You can back up into this. You can aim between these two wires. The like I just go up, but it's not so important how much left and right. Just don't hit this. Just crouch and just do it in between the two wires. This should also be a perfect slope smoke, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, this one is actually a little bit garbage in CS2. But maybe this is even better with this Molotov. I might have failed the Molotov here. That was fine. Now at least it makes it so the T is forced back. But obviously there's like the Molo smoke bug I showed in one of the earlier sessions. If you want a slope smoke from CT, you can go here. And I think it is here. Sorry, I haven't thrown this for a while. It is not there. Oh, it might be this square actually. Let me see. Does it go past? Not quite. This almost seems like it. this seems to kind of work. It's pretty deep smoke. Basically just go in here and aim here. Bang. This is slope smoke. You want a pellet smoke, you can go here. You just see this piece of metal. I think you can aim on it. I have to see because in CSGO there were 2 different lineups. Like this one will extend pretty far out. This is maybe not ideal. I know some people aim bottom right of this window instead. I think for CS2 this might be better. Because it will really fill up the area. Yeah, you can use that as well. There's also a Molotov here to delay. If you just go in this corner and you see this, I think it might be top right. This is actually a super sick Molotov that burns here, 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 and here. There's only one bomb plant available, and that's this one. So if you want a Molotov that delays the T's from planning, say you play against a team that likes to play like full A executes, where they take the site and go for the bomb plant without getting kills, doing this Molotov might be what allows the smokes to fade, so now the teeth can't plant. That one can be really good to know. I think besides that, there isn't really anything here. For B side, I have tried a million gajillion times, right, to throw a flash out of this window, and I don't know, for some reason it doesn't feel that good, I think. Like, at least in CSGO this could fail, and also you seem so far away from it. But I think if you bounce it like that, it goes more to the right, and you can throw it from closer. So, it's just a small thing. Like, you can actually almost peek with it.
Is there a way you can throw a flash from there? Like, let's say you're rotating from window, and your teammates like empty pillar or like bench or something. Is there a lineup you can throw from here that like pops like behind them, or like it doesn't blind them but it blinds them coming out? Because I've tried throwing it over the market, but I don't feel like it like blinds them that much.
No, I agree. What is empty pillar in your? Is that here?
The pillar that's empty, the one you're standing in right now.
This
like
one.
If he's sitting here or bench,
yeah,
or even
yeah.
like front sight.
I mean, I would say still something like this. As long as you have like talked about what flash you're doing, this flash will give him space, you know. Because if they're swinging here or whatever, they might get blind by it, and anyone who's coming here or wants to take space this way will have to dodge this flash. But I don't think there is like a super ideal flash. Like, I would sometimes use a flash like this if I'm CT and rotating in, and I know my teammates won't get blinded by it, but I agree. I feel like it has really limited, like the quality of the flash isn't that good. You won't get that much from it.
Like blind them for very long. I tested it. It's like barely a flash, and like the only time it like does actually like, I think it's like you have to be like on the balcony for it to do anything. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably. Oh shit! Weird thought here actually. You could potentially smoke mid-side, maybe, and kind of block all plants, more or less. That would probably be possible to like find a lineup from here or something that isn't too hard. And it should be more left, but yeah, that would go down and land mid-side. I think actually that would be potentially a retake smoke that could be interesting. It's not amazing because the T can play in it, but it does give you some options in the clutch. If there's a smoke here, it gives you more space to come out. It ruins a lot of the AWP angles. You could come and press the bomb, and it's kind of the same. You fake tap the bomb and you force the T's to move basically. I guess I can show this. It's not really a retake model. But if you are B house and for whatever reason they know about you, well, actually I'll just show you this Molotov because it's good in multiple ways. But if your teammates are splitting over short and you are B house, if you crouch here and aim on this line, you have a Molotov that burns balcony, but it also burns here car, so they cannot peek and help. And if you are B house and they for whatever reason know about you, let's say you kill someone, you have a Molotov. This Molotov can be pretty damn good as well, because it, again, it makes it so the car guys, they either have to hide full or they have to be up here. And then they're visible to short, to B-house, and to this. So you kind of you clear belt for your teammates, but you also make this guy impossible to peek. Or like you make it hard for him to peek you, I mean. There isn't really a lot of retake util for B. I will move to another map. See, I'm just thinking what I want to do here. I want to see if there's some map. Like I have something for Anubis. I think I kind of teased it last time. Let's go Nuke. Let's go Nuke. Maybe I'll keep my Anubis secrets for a little while longer. But Nuke is an interesting map. Really interesting map when it comes to retaking. I know a lot of people don't really play Nuke that much because it is a very difficult map. But I can show you a way of retaking on Nuke which is extraordinarily good. So say I am with two people out here, a rifle and an AWP. This is the ideal situation. And let's say we have full utility on one player, or we have like some random utility that we throw to one player, so this one player has everything. What I can do is I can do a nade T-vent, right? If someone's playing here now, they take like 20-30 damage. I can follow this up with a Molotov. Now this player has to move and will probably die because we can hold the Molotov. And with the nade damage, it's likely they maybe even just die in the Molotov. Then we can follow it up with this smoke. You just back yourself up in this corner. You go here. Put your cursor like this. This is a perfect smoke for door side. Now, we've kind of taken care of the left side here. People can be top hot. People can be here. People can be peeking from side on timing. People can be CT vent. People can be Tetris. And people could potentially be in front of hot peeking this, basically. Let me see, maybe this smoke is actually better. Might go a little bit further. Yeah, it is better. If I now have an AWP, and this, yeah, I guess not that many people play Nuke, but so it's a pretty hard map. But if I would do this smoke, I can come here and I can bounce a flash, and on this flash, I can come and take this angle. This makes it so now, if someone wants to peek from hot, they die. If someone wants to peek from Tetris, they die. On this flash, my let me drop my AWP here. On this flash, my rifle player can swing. So it can even be the rifle player doing the flash, and wide swing. I can clear this, and as soon as my AWP holds my left side, I can start walking out. I can even try to kill this player. If I get to left side, I can flash for my guys under heaven. With this flash, they can come, they can clear side. They can clear CT vent in a safe way. They can clear Tetris in a safe way. And now we basically have the side. It's pretty broken to retake like this if you do it correct. Because T-vent is not a worry. This will die from main. Like, let's say even IS rifle, I swing and I fail this duel. Well, the AWP who's holding here just moves over, kills. And retakes the angle. They can only be side. Tetris CT vent basically. If you have a flash on this rifle, you can flash under heaven, as I said. You clear side, you clear CT vent, that's that. To make life even easier, you can go here. You can aim here. And take a sneak step or two. Yeah, I need to find a better lineup for this smoke, but you can take like one sneak step. Man, this... Maybe crouching it is better. No. This was easier in CSGO, but you can, if you do it correct, not like how I'm doing it, the smoke should land inside hot, and then you can follow up with this Molotov. You aim here, bang. Yeah, I need to find a better smoke lineup. I'm not sure. Maybe even you can do... Let me try one more time here. Because the thing in CSGO was you could actually land a smoke behind here, and it would be pretty good. In CS2, you can kind of do the same, but it gives them more space. There is a way, I promise you, but I definitely need to update my lineup here. But you can get the smoke to land like this, then you can do the Molotov here. Now, if anyone is playing like here side, or if anyone is inside hot, they get smoked. Now they get Molotov in front of the smoke, and they can't move. And that kind of takes away all angles for the T's to play in the Afterplant. It requires some coordination, but it is a really, really solid way of retaking. On B-bomb side, not a lot of people know it, but, well, a lot of people will know this smoke. You go here, you aim this thing, you smoke. This is the best single door smoke because it lands really far in the corner. And the thing is, if you do it like a freehand, if just, let's say I'm doing like this, now the smoke might bounce so far forward that if someone comes out single, they can play behind the smoke. That's why if you do it like this, you'll see how little advantage this player has. Like, when I'm out, I'm pretty out. Like, it's hard for me to play behind the smoke. That's at least the idea. Another smoke you can do, and this is the part that not a lot of people know. I think a lot of people know that you can go here, you can do basically something like this. You get a smoke that blocks off the windows if you want to cross, but this is something definitely a lot of people don't know. You can go in this corner. You can see the big thing here, you can see the small thing, top of the small, you run. And you have a smoke for double doors. Which is pretty cool. From here as well. Let me see if I do this right. Yeah, you can Molotov dark. Just go here, line this up. You aim kind of here at the handle. And bang. Yeah, that's some Nuke util. I have been playing around. Actually, I will share my Anubis trick. I can give you some retake util I am pretty sure you have never seen before. First of all, you can come. I need to have my jump to forward bind. You can come next to this wall. You can aim here, I think it is. You can double click jump throw forward. This Molotov's pillar completely. And it's thrown from a pretty safe position. I think you can even do it from inside. You need to be kind of forward though. But it's possible to do it from an angle where it's safe. I think actually I even found a lineup where you just need to go top here and aim here. Actually, that was a much better lineup. But it's possible for you to Molotov pillar without showing yourself. Just, you can go whatever. Molo, you can peek this. And now, pillars Molo, you run out, peek with it, whatever. One thing that's kind of interesting as well is that there are these windows. I think I mentioned it in the past, like in a past session. And I was considering how can you use them. So I found this smoke, and this is what I've been keeping secret a little bit. You can go line up with this thing. Bang. You go, you aim here, you crouch, and magic happens. Look how fast this smoke pops. Now you have a smoke where this pillar player is like forced out from pillar. They can't play from left side at all. And it makes pillar a position you kind of don't want to play at all anymore. Because either you're really visible or you're kind of sitting with your feet showing under the smoke. This is interesting because pillar on Anubis is kind of like sandbags on Vertigo. In that you can take angles and you can jiggle in and out and you can win a lot of rounds by playing here with AWP. So having util that you can throw from safe positions that take care of exactly this kind of, I guess I call it a swing position. Like this is what swings the momentum in an afterplant for the T's. These kind of positions where you can weave in and out. You have pretty good cover. You're hard to kill. So long as someone has my aim in now, I can hold angle. I can even miss. I can take a new angle. I can peek this. I can peek this again. It's like it's really hard to clear me. So knowing this Molotov or knowing the smoke, and now I failed the Molotov, but whatever. But it's very cool. And if you do the smoke, the T's will have no idea what is going on. I'm sure I haven't looked into it yet, but I'm sure there is a lineup as well where you can throw this same smoke from here through the window somehow. Kind of close. So you could do it with a retake from here, maybe even whatever, something like this. This is something a little bit new. I know also it would theoretically be possible to find some smoke that lands kind of like this. And it would give you some kind of interesting angles to play in here, where you would actually allow yourself space. I also had a lineup for a smoke that lands here that you can throw from a safe position so that you can actually come out, clear heaven, you can come out and create space. I think there is still a lot to do with retaking on Anubis. Like, say I just have a simple lineup. I don't know what a simple lineup would be. Maybe even something like this. Have a smoke that lands in a position that gives me space to get out. And have a whatever. Don't know if there is a place I can line up here, but maybe have a Molotov that bounces off and lands and Molotovs off the side. Now there aren't many angles for the T's to play. And if I would have the smoke landing a little bit more like this, it would give me some options of whatever. Molotoving the side in a way where it burns this close corner. It burns a lot. And now I as a CT can move out, where the T's, they have to be out in pretty open positions. It's also, by the way, possible to smoke A main from the beach. If you would be interested in doing that. For B side, don't think there's a whole lot. Again, we have a swing position, this one. It's really a good position to have, because it's easy for you to kind of, like, you can stand like this, you can peek. If your guy from plat gets contact CT, you can swing and kill here. If he gets contact tempo, you swing and kill here. Again, a really solid position. Yeah. I could probably talk more about retakes and afterplants. But I think instead of going over more things that are just very specific, I will talk about some things that are very general. One of the things that is very general is try to identify on bomb site what is like a good swing position. It's kind of like what I call a swing position is a little bit the opposite of a god spot. Like we talked about these god spots on CT where you can basically trade any position. For a T, a swing position is a place you can stand where you can basically trade any incoming CT. Like this position gives me so much space to move, because if someone comes B main, okay, I can move towards this side and play with the pillar on my left, so I'm hidden from this and hold still whatever an off angle to CT and peak tempo. If they come con, I can go this side. It's a little bit more dangerous, but let's say they're tempo and con. I can use the pillar in this way. I can use the pillar in this way. It's giving me a lot of possibilities. Same with the pillar on A side, that I can hold heaven, but I can peek this, and I can isolate angles all the time. Oh no, they're coming A main. Okay, I'm holding now like this with AWP. Take a shot here. Now I go here. I'm hidden from camera. I can peek A main. It's like, get good at identifying the swing positions and try to play them a lot. If another teammate is playing this position, you obviously don't need to go there. But try to be the guy taking the swing position if no one else does. For Afterplants, one of the most important things as well is talk about what you are doing. So an example could be on a pistol round, I plant the bomb, and then I say, come take connector with me. And now we're like 3 Glocks in here, sitting on a line, holding if the CTs connect. Another example could be something like, I'm saying, I'm on the temple off angle, be ready to peek on my contact. Well, now we have a sort of agreement in place where when I get contact, my teammate in a swing position, he swings and kills, and maybe we win a round this way. As a lot of you know, I have become the coach of NIP's female team, and this was actually one of the biggest things that they needed to learn was when you have an afterplan, talk with your teammates and set something up so we actually get into a setup that has use. Because when I just joined, they would plant the bomb and they would literally just go to some random angle and they wouldn't say a single word, and then they would hope it would work out. It's not like I have gone through 50 scenarios about if the bomb gets planted here, you have to go here and you have to go here, and then we peek together, and it's just use your mouths. And the same goes for a retake. Like, if I'm walking, or if I'm at the back here and I'm seeing my teammate walk up on the left side, I can say, okay, I'm holding side for you. Wait a second, lose a step, I'm coming close. Okay, you can peek dark now, I'm with you, I'm holding the pillar. Okay, wait, I have a smoke for B main, I smoke. I'm clearing jail. He's not jail. I'm pressing the bomb. He's shooting from B main, whatever. Use your mouths. Communication is extremely important in Counter-Strike overall. And this is, well, it's kind of the hardest thing, but it's also the best tip I can give you when it comes to afterplans and retakes. I've shown you a ton of tips now for specific afterplan setups on some maps, retake utility, just overall ideas of how to retake, I guess. I've shown you gut spots, I've shown you a bunch of different things, but as long as you communicate with your teammates, you can win an afterplan very easily. As long as you communicate with your teammates, it's possible to win retakes with pretty high percentage. Obviously, if you're playing against professionals or people who also communicate, then it gets harder. That's part of it, right? But that's when we can add on the theory. Hopefully some of the afterplay setups I've shown, especially on like Inferno and with some of the gut spots. Even though I can't give you sort of all my knowledge on a short session like today, hopefully I have given you some ideas or set things that you haven't ever thought about, which sparks a new thought in your head, which allows you to further progress in your Counter-Strike career. So that was kind of what I had for today, I guess. So now I will do some questions. If there are any.
Were there any other maps that had god spots that you didn't go over? You went over Mirage, Overpass, and Vertigo.
Let me go ahead and check, because there possibly is. I would even say there are some situations where there maybe are god spots that, you know, I just don't even know yet. A lot of the times it has been just kind of getting into the situation, right? And then realizing at a later time, like, wow, this actually is amazing. What is the issue with a lot of bomb sites? Mirage, for example. It's hard to find a place where you can trade all angles without being standing literally in the middle of the bomb site, basically. Same with Overpass A site. There are almost always angles that the T's can peek, where unless you are standing like on top of the bomb, basically, you will not be able to get the trade. Like, I could give you another example of kind of a god spot, but it is a little bit.
What about big box on Ancient?
Yeah, see, that is what I would call a swing position and not a god spot. Because it's a T-sided god spot, if that makes sense. But I don't know if you would agree with me on that.
It's not good on CT, or?
I mean, it is, but if the bomb is planted for donuts, then big box on Ancient will not help you, you know. Like, the donut guy will just kill your teammate when he's defusing, and you have no chance of a trade. And because of that, it's not a god spot, in my brain.
I see.
But you could, I guess, technically define this as a god spot. Like, it's a little bit of a random god spot, but if the bomb gets planted here, I am technically in a position where, like, I will always be able to fight the T or trade my teammate before the T kills him. So what some people will do, and some people play their clutches like this as well, they will smoke like that. They will, you know, wait for the smoke. They will come this side. They will jump up. Like, they will press the bomb, kind of like vertigo, and then they will jump up. And now, when the T comes and wants to spam, you are elevated above the smoke. In CSGO, it was extra powerful because this smoke would leave you with a one-way. But even now, I can crouch, peek up when the T spams, and kill. And that's also actually, like, we could obviously talk about this for a million years, but one of the best things you can learn on a retake as a CT is tapping the bomb as quick as possible, because that is what just makes a T panic. If I smoke the bomb and I tap, the T always has a decision to make. Like, he has to make a conscious decision. Do I want to peek or do I want to stay back? If I smoke the bomb but I don't tap it, the T can just wait always. There is no timer on him. So I guess that's the one thing. Actually, another thing I forgot to say that I'm teaching the girls that I'm coaching is, if you are defusing a bomb and your teammates are still alive, even if you just have one teammate alive, always count down the seconds. No one ever does it, and I don't know why. I'm sure it will be normalized eventually. I learned this from Speedy. I played with him Sprout again 6 years ago. But like, if I'm inside of a smoke and I don't have a kit, for example, it's easy to lose track of time. And if I start saying 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, it makes it so my teammate who is here, maybe at the start he will want to crouch and bait me, right? Because he's thinking, okay, I want the T to peak and then I want to trade. But if he can hear that I'm counting down to 3 seconds, well, maybe his decision changes. Maybe he now thinks, okay, I'm not going to play for the trade. I'm going to play for the fight, because now it's no longer a situation where I need to kill the T. I need to delay the T. And so this is something that is actually super simple. There is zero downside to it, basically, and should be normalized, but isn't. Because if you are the guy defusing, you're anyway not doing anything else than looking at the timer. And if you are the guy who is trying to save your diffuser's life, it is always an advantage for you to know exactly how long there's left. And the same goes for if you defuse with a kit. If you go on it, you say 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It's your teammate will always know what kind of tempo he needs to play. But if it's a 10-second defuse and you don't say anything the entire defuse, it can be really easy for your teammate to lose track of time. Yeah. Any more questions?
I kinda do.
Yeah?
So obviously the thing is, like, stairs on Mirage obviously isn't a guard spot if they're like either CT or jungle, right? Then that wouldn't be a guard spot. Then guard spot would be maybe something like default, I guess, like hiding behind default or something like that.
Yeah, technically, I guess jungle could still be. It could still kind of be characterized as a god spot depending on the bomb plan. Like if it's played in reverse default, then not. Like if it's played a Fnatic, but any other bomb plan, you as a stairs guy will still fight the T before he kills the. But yeah, I get what you mean. You're right.
I mean, if the T is either from like jungle. So my question is basically just like this: like, can't you just artificially create a guard spot by like eliminating angles and just like then? I mean, kind of any spot can be a guard spot, no? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that sentiment. I think it's difficult, right? But let's say I do something like, instead of smoking the bomb, I do this smoke, and then I have a Molotov lineup so that now, okay, probably it would be the exact opposite. I don't really know why I did it like this, but let's say I would smoke, even if I think in CS2 this could actually kind of make sense. Let's say I smoke like this and I Molo this. I could go, for example, here, jiggle along, and I'm almost always able to trade everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as, as you say, eliminate angles by using utility, it is technically kind of a god spot. I will, by the way, show you one smoke here. If you go here, actually, I don't know if this one still works because there's no. I'll probably have to find a new lineup. But I remember in CS:GO there was a skybox here, and Isatech had a lineup. Probably you can throw it without a skybox as well. Yeah, it's pretty much this lineup. Isatech, when I played with him in Heroic, would sometimes throw a smoke kind of like this.
And the ult tap.
Yeah, no, my game is just randomly tapping in and out now.
The smoke was too good. It was game breaking.
It might have been actually, because my game is straight up not working now. You guys can still see the stream, right?
Yeah,
Kind of, yeah.
I can see the smoke.
Yeah, it's like literal
to...
game-breaking smoke. That's your thumbnail right there.
Yes. All right. Just for the sake of it, I'll just go back in game real quick. But at least you guys saw the smoke now. You kind of understand the point. You use the smoke to making the bomb site, and it can also kind of be used to defuse in the smoke. I didn't have a specific lineup for it here. It was, but it is possible to find a lineup that works for this.
Another thing is also like it's something like, I don't know, like Stiko made a video recently about it. Like he made like an ancient tips video.
Yeah.
Where it said he came with an example of like the donut plant on ancient, where people pretty often make the mistake of smoking donut, which like makes him mad, right? Because then there's like certain, most just something that wasn't said, I guess, right? There's like certain positions where if you smoke the opponent off instead of smoking on the bomb, they can just kind of spam you and it becomes RNG instead of like you can trade, you know?
Yeah.
Do you have any general sentiment about that, or?
I think that's also a good like question or like thing to bring up. The smoke, by the way. Like, so when I come up, this gives us so much more space, right? I'm not streaming.
No.
So it's only the video that can see it. Okay.
Yeah.
A bit of lag, but basically just this smoke, the way it lands, it gives me more space to go up and actually like take the site, and I can even tap the bomb. I think the ancient example is a bad example from Stiko. I mean, if it's an ancient tips and tricks, I kind of understand it, but I think there are definitely times when you don't want to smoke the opponent, you want to smoke the bomb. I think just this one is one that I maybe don't agree completely with, because it also a little bit depends where you smoke. I think if you smoke here, for example, this is not that great, because for the T, he can still see the angle he needs to spam, right? Like, if he knows the bomb is planted here, he can spam this angle. But if, for example, I were to smoke here, now it's actually pretty hard for the T to find the perfect angle. Like, it's not that easy. I'll give you another example, even from Ancient. I could smoke the bomb here, but if I smoke ramp like this, for this guy to be able to find this mini gap while he's inside of a smoke to spam the bomb here is like almost impossible. Like, I most likely just completely shot the wall, because this angle is pretty tight. Like, and if I would smoke him off here, it's hard for him to find that perfect angle to spam. But for us as CTs, it's much easier to find that angle to spam. So it's, it is a little bit case by case. I think this is also just in general a hard bomb plan to smoke, because say I smoke it here, how am I going to trade a CT? Like, this is a really bad duel, and if the T is anyway spamming this, like,
you can still line it up, no? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a bad example from Stiko, but I do agree. I think this is maybe the last thing we can do. Let me see if I can come up with a good example for this. I would say maybe something like overpass short. Or I think, like, typically the idea is if you smoke the T's off instead of smoking the bomb off, the idea is you give the T sort of a wider spam angle. Like, okay, I kind of have an example here. Let's say I know that the last guy is inside connector, and the bomb is planted for mid. I could smoke the bomb, because again, it does give me the opportunity to actually kind of fake the plant, or like fake the defuse. Like, say I smoke here, I know the last guy's come, I can press the bomb, and if he starts spamming whatever, I can try to kill him here, right? Or I can peek the other way, it doesn't really matter. But for the T, his angle that he needs to spam in, if he knows the bomb is planted here, it's easy for him to know where to spam, right? But if I were to smoke the smoke like here, it's so much more difficult for the T to find the exact angle for the bomb. Like, there's so much more area that it could be in. But if you know where the middle of the smoke is, kind of, and it typically will go around the bomb, it's easy for me to notice, like, oh, okay, this is that. There's this big pillar. So this big pillar, okay, then the bomb has to be planted right here, you know? But if I have this, I have very little to go from. So I think it is like really case by case. I think if you are, it's kind of, I guess, Stiko's point in a way. If I'm playing a one-on-one, for example, I think it's probably potentially better for me to smoke it deep, right? And then I can tap the bomb, and if he spams through, I can spam him back. Or I can full defuse and hold info on it or whatever. And it's harder for the T to find angle. But if we are 2-on-1 and I smoke off the T, well, it makes it really difficult for my teammate to trade. Like, the T could just spam the bomb, get lucky, and I can't trade. But if I would smoke the bomb, and my one teammate is, let's say I smoke like this instead. Just make a super good scenario for myself. And my teammate is diffusing now and the T starts spamming, it's easy for me to trade. So it is just case by case. Like, if we're 2-on-1, a lot of the time you don't want to smoke off the T deep. You want to smoke the bomb. But if I'm in a 1-on-1, it might make a lot of sense for me to smoke off deep, because it's going to give the T a harder time spamming me through the smoke.
You were specifically talking about 2-on-1s, to be fair, I think.
Yeah, I was with the gut spots, that's true. But it's also, we don't even have to talk 2-on-1s. Like, let's say a 3-on-2 as well. I mean, then it doesn't make sense for me to use my smoke cut. If the guy could also be sloped, then I have to use the smoke on the bomb, right? But it's always case by case. I don't think there's like a perfect rule you can make, but I think the idea that, like, if I'm playing against a T on Ancient as well, who I know is Donut, I could smoke the bomb and just full stick it. But maybe it's better for me to actually smoke deep. Not too deep though, because I also don't want to smoke so deep that the T can run through and kill me. So it's, you know, it is case by case. You have to do it correct. I kind of understand Stiko's frustrations, but at the same time, I think Donut on Ancient is just a bad example of that. I think this here is like better example. But if it was in an Ancient tips and tricks, like, he can't go on Mirage and talk about it, right? So that makes sense. Yeah. That was kind of what I had time for, guys. It's, yeah. These coaching sessions, I'm supposed to be doing 1 hour, but I always end up doing way more. So I think I better head out and get some, yeah.
I have a quick question about the shop.
The shop?
It says you can like buy like a one-on-one thing.
Yeah.
Can you pick the coach or no? Is it assigned to you?
I'm actually not entirely sure, but I don't. Well, I have never done a one-on-one coaching session on Gosu Academy, and I kind of have used sort of a different platform for it, but as it is currently, my schedule is just packed, and I have, I think, 10 people in queue for coaching sessions with no time. So
that makes sense. I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking anytime soon, but do you know where I can look to see when you are available?
Yes, I can first of all send you the link just to the page. I think also it will be in my YouTube subscriptions. Otherwise, you can find it on my stream. But also, I would say I think I might be closing down my individual coaching for a little while, because I have some very big matches coming up, like important tournament with my team, and again, not that much time. So too many bookings, too little time. And maybe it's just also good if you just keep an eye on my Twitter and just kind of ask me about it, because I probably will be closing for individual coaching for a little while I get my ducks in a row or whatever you call it, and then at some point I will open it up again. And then it would be really nice to do a session with you.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And otherwise, like, I would say I'm pretty helpful on my stream, you know? Like, I typically try to answer Counter-Strike related questions if I can. And also, I talk a lot about what I do, so if you want to learn from me, that's also a pretty good place to do it, I think. So yeah,